Hello and welcome to our Advanced Screenwriting for Media Projects course. It's developed specially for master degree students of Media Technologies program in School of Creative Industry of Latinite University. So it's for second year students. We met with you previously on the production processes for media projects, and advanced screenwriting is like continuation of our previous course. Like it was prerequisite for this course that we already did, and I hope you remember me and what we did the last year, our program. So here especially, like we will continue with you projects that we developed in previous year. So in terms of screenwriting, in terms of writing for media projects, we will dive into this part of our industry, like for media, how to write for different projects. So let's start. Let's start from introduction to advanced screenwriting, like in general, what kind of course we will do like these 10 weeks. And I am as an instructor, my name is Aidia Darbekov, and also Gulmira Shahmetova. We will do this course with her, partially she will do it, partially I, and we will meet on our practice and lectures hours together. So what we will do, we will delve into the essential elements of compelling screenplays, focusing on character development, plot structuring, dialogue, and more. So everything connected to writing specifically for different media projects. So these elements we will try to understand on our advanced screenwriting course. So let's move on. So the importance of screenwriting in media technology. So why is actually right now is important, because you know that you can create without any script, just recording your camera, starting to record on even your phone, and you can create interesting media projects right away. Yes, a lot of cases like where without any background, any experience, different like bloggers, whiners, and so on. They had successfully created different videos, TV shows, and so on. So why it's important right now? Let's discuss. Let's discuss also on our practice lessons. Like I want to hear your input, your answers to that question. But in general, actually, screenwriting is a crucial aspect of media technology because it's forming the foundation for movies, TV series, any digital content. So understanding the principles of effective screenwriting is essential for media technology professionals to create engaging and impactful narratives. So again, when you're watching Hollywood created stories, or rather like Kazakhstani created stories, of course, you can split the difference. You can feel the difference between these kind of projects. Why? Because post-production and screenwriting, idea development in other countries, especially in United States, where we have Hollywood, where we have this fabric industry of filmmaking. So there they know that screenwriting is crucial. That's why they, for example, some of the scripts, they're doing it for a couple of years, not only 1 year writing one script, but couple years. Why? Because they know that script is foundation, base for their projects. So firstly, we can discuss narrative core. A compelling narrative is the cornerstone of any successful media product, driving audience engagement and emotional connection. So, narrative core first. Second one, technical proficiency. So, screenwriting knowledge enables media technologists to work efficiently with writers, understand production requirements, and contribute to the creative process. So here, like technical proficiency, it's where our IT and media technology space is important in terms of screenwriting also, because we need to look at our project not only from point of writers, but also as technicians, as programmers maybe, because we need to understand, for example, how to create even like horizontal and vertical video. They have their own difference. So in writing, in filming, in post-production. So it's important, and we need to understand these nuances when we're creating different media projects, when we're creating base script for that kind of projects. So industry demand. So for sure, like right now, demand is growing. The growing demand for original content across various platforms makes screenwriting a valuable skill for media technology professionals. So games, it's media project. Social media content projects. VR, AR, applications, all of them, still they need us as screenwriters, as a media technologists who understand how to work with different medium, how to create stories for different parts, for different uh, platforms, different audiences. Even right now, for example, the you can notice when you're watching Netflix TV shows, and when you're watching old, not old, but like maybe 5 years old TV shows that was created especially for television, for cable television. They have big difference because, for example, at the time when we had like, and we still have this standard television industry format where, for example, your TV show plot, one series needs to be like 20 minutes or 45 minutes, not less or not more, especially 20 minutes or 45 minutes. Why? It's because of advertisement, because channels, they need to create like a fair TV schedule where they can place this content. And for example, sitcom How I Met Your Mother or Friends, you can check like 20 minutes, but in schedule it's for 30 minutes, which includes 10 minutes for advertisement, which you can see on television. Same here for bigger TV series, like for 45 minutes. 15 minutes, they make it room for advertisement. But right now, you can check some, for example, new Netflix TV series, and their interesting part that some series can be 30 minutes, some of them can be 36, 45, 1 hour, 2 hours, and so on and so on. So, for example, new filmmakers, they didn't attaching to this part of old television algorithms where they need to write specifically like 20 minutes or 45 minutes. So they can write 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and so on and so on. Why? Because Netflix is not cable. They're not doing any advertisement. It's video on demand, where you can platform where you can watch like even like whole season in one day, 10 series in one day without any advertisement, any pauses, and so on and so on. So creators here, they understand that they have ability to change industry format. They have more ability to maybe in one series of their one episode in their of their TV show, show more information, give more information, tell more story about specifically this episode. So here, as you can see, like industry demands something new, and each time it's developing, it's growing, and so on and so on. Okay, Let's move on. So key elements of effective screenwriting. So what we need to do to write good, interesting stories. So effective screenwriting involves a combination of elements that works together to create a compelling narrative experience. Understanding these elements is essential for crafting stories that resonate with audiences. So our first goal is to deliver some interesting information to our audience to catch their attention. So, for example, if you're doing some TV show for 10 episodes in one season, if you want to make second season, third season, make more money on your content, firstly, of course, you need to catch viewers' attention. And how it works? Firstly, character, for sure. Doctor House in why you watching Game of Thrones, because they have variety of interesting characters, and for viewers it's interesting to watch for them, like what doing Starks, what doing Lannisters, Targaryens, and so on and so on. Each one of these families, they have like specific interesting strong character, which is interesting for audience. So well developed characters with complex motivations, relationships, and conflicts drive the narrative forward. Okay, plot, for sure, of course, it's important. So well structured plot with rising action, climax, and resolution keeps the audience engaged and invested in the story. So like right now we have variety of different genres, different TV shows, Korean dramas, Turkish TV series, American, British TV shows. All of them different. All of them, they need to do something to um, make their viewers to watch specifically their shows. So one of the important things that they have interesting plot. It's like core, fundamental of the story. Dialogue. Dialogue should be authentical and reveal character, advance the plot, and create compelling interactions between characters. So yes, if you have strong character, but he can't interact with other characters, he can't properly talk, then your character is not so interesting for audience. So, and dialogues, through dialogues, it's a unique form where you can deliver information, show the relationship between characters, give some interesting plot moments. So it's still important. So, for example, king of dialogues in filmmaking is Quentin Tarantino, and he can just put two different characters somewhere in the car or in the coffee shop, and they can like talk for 1 hour, and for us it will be still be interesting. So here his ability. And the last one is theme. So the central idea or message of the story, explored through character development, plot, and dialogue. So general theme, again, we're watching Lord of the Rings, we know what's happening, why it's interesting for us. We're watching Walking Dead, Star Wars, so on and so on. All of the different TV shows and films, they have their own specific and unique theme that is interesting for viewers, and that's why they're watching these kind of movies. Okay, let's move on. Character development. So uh, I think one of our next lectures will be completely divided specifically for character development, but in general, let's go through it. So it's important to have in our character like his background and history. Is developing a detailed backstory for your protagonist can help you understand their motivation and influences. Goals and obstacles define what your protagonist wants to achieve and the obstacles they face in their journey. This creates tension and conflict. transformation and growth. So, how does our protagonist change through the story? Do they learn, grow, or make mistakes? This arc is key to satisfying narrative. So, yes, again, when we talk about different show, firstly, what we need to mention is the character, protagonist and antagonists of this story, who is interesting for us. So that's why character development is crucial, is very important. Okay, let's move on. So plot structure. So crafting engaging narratives. So you know that we have 3-act structure. For television, we have 4-act structure, but in general, doesn't matter. Even like we're doing 20-minute series, 40-minute series, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long movie. Still, we need to have in our structure exposition, where we introduce the setting, character, and initial conflict, rising action, where the build up of tension and conflict, where obstacles arise for the protagonist. For sure, we need to have climax, the turning point of the story, where the protagonist faces the ultimate change, and filing action, the aftermath of the climax, where the consequences of the protagonist's action unfold. And at the end, what we need to have is resolution, the final outcome of the story, where the conflict is resolved and loose ends and tied up. So all of the doesn't matter. You're doing like some reels for TikTok, you making game, you doing some VR event experience. All of them still we need to have at least beginning, middle, and end of the story. And in these 3 acts, what we need to have: exposition, rising action, climax, failing action, and resolution, for sure. It's like a unique formula of success of all of the movies. Okay, dialogue. So again, in general, we will have like completely one lecture about dialogue and text between characters. But what we need to know in general, because this is like introduction lecture. So firstly, we can reveal character through our dialogue. So it should reflect a character's personality, his motivations and background. We can advance plot with our dialogues. So dialogue should move the story forward, revealing new information or creating conflict. So not just like, hello, my name is Idea Darbekov, how are you doing? It's a good day. No, it needs to have some conflict. It needs to be spicy, interesting for audience, and delivering some information that is important for plot. So probably in the movies you will not see where the characters just talks. Yes, like hello, hello, how are you? I'm good. What about you? And so on and so on. So for example, in movies when they talk by the phone, they starting to talk right about the what's happening in the time when they're talking. So some interesting happened there, some plot twist, some delivering of information. So don't forget about that. So not writing just boring dialogues, but delivering information with this dialogue and create tension. So dialogue can build tension and anticipation, leaving the audience on the edge of their seats. So I recommend to watch Inglorious Bastards opening scene, dialogue between uh, 9 antagonists and one of the first characters in this movie, where you will see like how they did this tension between 2 characters. It's like one of the top level writing, again, of thanks to Tarantino and Christoph Waltz, who played the role of antagonist. So he won Oscar just for this dialogue between two characters. So it's again very important in terms how we can use dialogue, what our character says, what's their speech, what's their intention to deliver information. Okay, subtext and subplots, so enhancing depth and complexity. So subtext and subplots adds depth to and complexity to our narrative. It's enriching the story and providing layers for the audience to explore. So subtext is the unspoken meaning behind dialogue, while subplots provide additional narratives that intersect with the main plot. So each time when we will write, we need to keep in mind that we need to put subtext and subplots in our writing. So subtext, what is unsaid but implied in dialogue? How do characters communicate through body language or subtle reactions? This can create tension, humor, or emotional impact. Again, check Inglorious Bastards, their body language, subtext between dialogues of Hans Lauda, what he's saying, uh, antagonist of this scene. So you will see that even like some small elements, they still can be, they can drive our plot, our story. And subplots offer additional stories that intersect with the main plot, providing context, character development, or thematic exploration. So subplots still, like we have general big line of story, like for example, Lord of the Rings, but still there you will see that we have different small subplots that also interesting for our characters, different ways. Again, Game of Thrones, you will see that they even live and acting in different continents in the story, but still it's pieces of big art called the Song of Ice and Fire, and it's interesting for audience. Okay, screenplay formatting, adhering to industry standards. We will discuss it. We will work in different software where we can write and create our scripts. So basically, screenplay formatting is a little bit different rather for just usual texts or like diploma projects, diploma thesis projects of masters dissertations. You will see that screens they are a little bit different. So, for example, one page of script properly formatted in screenplay program is equal for 1 minute of screen time usually. So proper screenplay formatting is crucial for clarity and professionalism. Adhering to industry standards ensures your screenplays is easily readable and understandable to producers and by producers and directors. So in Hollywood, they even will not read your script, even if it's like 10 Oscar material, just because if it's not formatted in especially screenplay format. Why? Because it's industry standard. Everyone knows how a screenplay looks, how it should properly written. So, and one of our lectures we will discuss this special software which we can use for storytelling, for screenplay writing, and so on and so on. So, for example, scene headings, they need to clearly identify the location and time of each scene. So action lines, so we need to describe the visual elements of the scene, focusing on action, setting, and character movements. Character names, so we need to introduce each character with their name centered above their dialogue. So for actors to understand who right now talking, where he needs to talk. And dialogue, write dialogue in a conversational style using proper punctuation and formatting. So usually dialogues in screenplays they are center formatted. But visually, I will show you. We will discuss it on our next lectures and practice how it needs to be look something like this. As you can see, dialogue in the middle, scene heading, character name, and so on and so on. So everything is clear, and for actors, for producers, right away they will try to imagine what's happening because of this format of screenwriting. Okay, let's move on. So rewriting and revision, refining your screenplay, for sure. Like again, big example and difference in Kazakhstani movies and in Hollywood movies is difference in quality. Why our scripts lacks of quality? Because no one in our industry rewrites and doing revision on screenplays. Usually, he will write the story in 1 month. Producer will look, director will look. They will ask to add some interesting like stand-up comedy or KVN comedy like miniatures. Writer will edit, make changes, give it to director, and right away he will start to shoot this story, this film. And in a couple months, you will watch it in film theater. But for Hollywood, again, as I said, writing script can last for 2-3 years of in the making. So usually 10 rewriting, at least 100 revisions they can do only because they know that delivering good, perfect script is good foundation, core stone to our whole project, whole movie. So they will work for it. They will work for it for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years, and so on and so on. So we with you will discuss it on our practice hours. We will do some interesting assignments like rewriting. We will take feedback. We will do structure and pacing, character development, dialogue and theme. So we will discuss our scripts together. And in these 10 weeks, we will try to create draft for our story, our project. Okay, resources and next steps, continuing your screenwriting journey. So, yes, for sure, like another big problem of screenwriting in Kazakhstan, it's because the writers, they not educated enough to write the stories. They don't have big background, like for example, again, for Hollywood stories. They need to read more, they need to understand more, feel more, because everything that you will live, your experiences, your emotions, that's how you can create, combine it, feel it, and write away in your script. So basically, again, why right now the most popular genre in Kazakhstan is comedy, because it's just gags, some funny moments that any like stand-up comedian can write fast in 1 month. But like real life scripts, they need to be living, feeling, and at least you need to do some research. You need to read books, articles. You need to go to workshops and courses. You can thank to me that I'm doing this advanced screenwriting course. I hope it will be useful for you. They not using proper screenwriting software and network and community. Unfortunately, in Kazakhstan, it's lack. Usually, they not discuss the stories, not trying to improve because they want to do it by themselves and create by themselves and make money on it. So unfortunately, this is the part which we're lacking in Kazakhstan. But I hope you will learn that, you will do some research, reading, and not just like create some stories, but you create amazing, wonderful stories. I hope for that. So here's just like 2 lectures of week 1 for our advanced screenwriting for media projects. We did our introduction to screenwriting. We will discuss our next steps and assignments on practice. And if you will have any questions, feel free to ask them on our practice hours. So that's it for our first introductional lecture. Thank you and see you later. See you on the next week and see you on the practice hours. Goodbye.